Hey crafty people! Welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Welcome back. It is time for another 12 months of Christmas cards, and for this one I am using one of the backgrounds I did on my most recent Technique Time video. I'll leave a link to that video down below, but it's the embossed tinfoil with alcohol inks on it, and I did this in blues, purples, and pinks. And I had in mind what I was going to use it for when I was creating it, and that's a Christmas card using, this is a Lawn Fawn stamp set, and ooh, I forgot to color in his hooves. I'll have to pull out my markers for that. I've gone ahead and colored and die cut everybody out just to save some time, but it's their ugly sweater set. And I just love this set. It's got, I think, like 5 pre-designed ugly sweaters. Actually, no, I think I had decided that way and that way because the Santa hat works better on him. So we got that, and I may switch those two around so that that guy's in the middle. But yeah, they have ugly sweaters, and there's like 5 pre-designed ones and a blank sweater that you can make ugly as you wish. So that's the stamp set I'm using. I just love these guys. They're just so stinking cute. I've also gone ahead and die cut a piece of glittery cardstock with a stitched hill die by Lawn Fawn. That's going to serve as where our critters are going to stand. So let's put our... You know what, let me grab my markers real quick and finish coloring him in, and then we can put the clothes on the critters and then the critters on the card. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my art glitter glue and just glue the clothing onto our critters. And yeah, I know I didn't need to color the entirety of the critters since most of it got covered up by the ugly sweater, but I can never remember how much gets covered up, so I figured it's better to color the whole thing and have it not be needed than to not and then go to put the sweater on and have bits of white showing. So there we go. And then I'm gonna glue my piece of glitter cardstock to my tinfoil piece. Oh, that did not. Come on, stay stuck. All right, now let's put our critters on, figure out their placement. Oh wait, I decided I was gonna stick the deer in the center because he's got a different hat on than everybody else. I think that's where I want to stick them. There is one other thing I was thinking about doing. Actually, 2 other things. Let's get those out and see how they look, and so then I can make some final decisions about placement of the critters. So the first is I die cut out, this is, I think it's Grommet tags, and it's a really old, I think, Sizzix die set, and I was thinking I'd stick that across the top. Obviously it needs inking, so let's do that. And I'm gonna go with, let's start with Salvaged Patina and go from there. And I'm going to pull in some shaded lilac to pull in our purple and ink along the edge with the shaded lilac. And then I'm going to grab my Misty, just because I want to be able to restamp this if it doesn't stamp well. All right, so I've got a sentiment and it says Happy Ho Ho Holidays, and it's from a Lawn Fawn set. I have no idea which set it is. Let's just double check and make sure we are still positioned correctly. Yes. And I'm gonna ink it with Distress Archival Ink in Kitsch Flamingo. So pulling in that pink. Oh, that stamped really well the first time around. Yay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's set the stamp aside for a sec. There is another sentiment that I'd really like to put on there, and it may or may not go across the bottom. So I've got a piece of blue cardstock, because I figured let's start there. And it says eat, drink, and be tacky, because I just think that's hilarious. Is this 8.5 by, yes. Okay, so we're going to stamp it along here, because I think I might put it as a strip along here going all the way across. So let's go ahead and stick it down and stamp it, and then we can decide if that's what we're going to do. And I think for this one, I'm going to grab Archival in Villainous Potion, and I'm gonna do this so that I can maybe stamp this straight. Ha 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 ha. If it's gonna go all the way across, like try and get it positioned there. I think that's about even. I'm just gonna push it down over there. I'm gonna grab the Villainous Potion and ink up our stamp. Stamp that down. Yeah, that one definitely needs a second go. Ooh, I think we're gonna go for number 3 on this one. There we go. That's all set. I'm gonna pull over my paper trimmer, my little guillotine, to trim it out. I don't need a lot around it, so we're just gonna trim it so that we've got that. And I may trim a sliver more off the top because it's not quite even. Oh, and that was not straight. That's a bit of a problem now, isn't it? Let's see if I can straighten that up. looks much better. All right, let's see if we're going to use both pieces. Now, for this piece, because it's got the 2 little holes in it, I did grab some ribbon, and I'm going to use this skinny purple ribbon. Although I'm kind of wondering now, do I want to use the skinny green? Because I do have green on that one sweater. Let's see. Let's test it out and see how we like it. I'm going to use my Easy Beater to help get the ribbon through those holes. I'm going to run the ribbon behind the piece and have it come out over here. And have that. So that's option 1 with the green ribbon. Option 2 is with the purple ribbon. I'm not sure. I think I like the purple better. All right, so we're gonna go with the purple, and I'm gonna just trim it off. All right, so option 1 for our layout is critters up at the top. Ho Ho Holidays across the top. Option 2 is we put the Eat, Drink, and Be Tacky down, and we have them standing on top of it, which has the benefit of putting them all in a straight line. I think I like them better up high. I think I like this on there, but I think it needs to be smaller. So I'm going to pull out my other paper trimmer, which will let me cut this down to a much smaller size than the little guillotine was letting me do. That back over. That's gonna go there. Those guys are gonna go there. That's gonna go there. All right, I like it. Let's add everything down. All right, let's stick him on first so he can set the line for all the critters to be on, since he's on the side with, which I should stick him over here because he's got the tail sticking out. And we're adjusting layout again. Now, you could, of course, use foam squares to pop these guys up. I'm not doing this because I know I'm mailing this card to someone for Christmas, and if you do put a lot of texture on your card, you really need to send it in a padded envelope, not a regular envelope. So that's something to keep in mind as you're making your Christmas cards. My father worked for the U.S. Postal Service for 30-some years, and growing up I would get yelled at if I tried to mail anything that was too thick in a regular envelope. So, because what his job was is he fixed the machines that sorted the mail. So yeah, he had all kinds of stories about things people tried to mail in regular envelopes that got stuck in the machines and caused all kinds of mess. So yeah, I would get yelled at if I tried to mail anything he felt was inappropriate in an envelope, bulk-wise. So as a result of that, if anything's even a little bulky, I end up putting it in a bubble mailer and sending it that way, so that I don't have it get eaten by the machines at the post office. So that's my little holiday card mailing tip for you. If you're planning on mailing them out, do yourself and the post office a favor and do not put bulky things in a regular envelope. Trying to find, I know I have tape over here. I know I have a roll of tape. I'm just going to use a little tape to help keep that ribbon stuck down since it's going to be on the back side. And now this side's all dried out. So let's add some more glue and a piece of tape. All right, so let's flip that back over. Let's attach it to our card base, and then we're going to do a few finishing touches. That's all kinds of off, but that's okay. We can trim that up here in a sec. Grab some bigger scissors. We will trim that bit off and that bit up at the top. Okay, finishing touches. I am gonna grab some Stickles. All right, so I've grabbed, this is lime green. I'm gonna add a little bit of the lime green. Oh, I know what else I need. I'm gonna get a pin and unclog it and then add a little lime green. Because, you know, these sweaters aren't tacky enough. They need a little bit more. And this isn't gonna add bulk to my card. So lime green on the trees. I don't know if this one's still any good. Let's see if it has any left in it. Oh, it does. All right, and I've grabbed, it's rock candy. And I'm gonna just do rock candy. I think I'm gonna do rock candy on the snowflake. This stuff is kind of dry. I think it may be time for me to say goodbye to this bottle that I've had for I don't even know how long. It's coming out, but it's not really sticking to the project. Let's get a paper towel. Try one more time just in case. It's coming out, but it's coming out in such a way that I don't think it's going to actually stick to the project. So we are going to wipe that off and get rid of this because it is clearly dead. And grab, I've got, this is called Unicorn. And we'll give this one a try. Oh, that one's coming out nice. So we're gonna add some sparkle to the snowflake. And maybe outline our snowman with a little sparkle. Actually, I feel like I should just fill him in because that's looking a little weird. And then what I can do is grab my pokey tool and just make sure I don't have any glitter like on Mr. Snowman's eyeballs. I also feel like I want to put some on the snowflakes. Yeah, I'm going a little overboard with the stickles, I'm aware. And on these snowflakes. And on the pom-poms. Because why not? It's an ugly sweater card. It should be a little over the top. And then there's one last thing I didn't grab that I want. And it's, I want to put dots of stickles on here instead of putting gems, because again, it saves on there being bulk. And I've grabbed stickles in Grape, and so we're just gonna put a dot there, and I'm circling around so that I keep from getting like a Hershey Kiss type peak on it. And I'm gonna flick behind the card with my finger just to help flatten those out a little bit more to make sure we've got rounded like domes instead of Hershey Kisses. And I also grabbed, because you know, I'm going overboard here, Enamel Accents in black, and so that we can make their noses pop a little bit. And I may end up regretting this. All right, I'm gonna grab the pin. Actually, I can use this. And I'm gonna do my best to do this on screen and do it so that I can see it as well. So hopefully my head's not in the way and hopefully I'm on screen, but I'm just gonna kind of shift this around to fill in the nose shape for each of the critters. That guy needs it brought in a little bit over here. And this is where the regret comes in, is when I mess it up. Let's see if we can make that look a little bit more intentional by essentially just making his nose a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. I'm gonna leave that alone before I mess it up anymore. Woo! And apparently, my Enamel Accents is like leaking over here on my craft desk because I set it down on its side instead of upright. All right, that mess is cleaned up. I'm gonna leave this to dry completely, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like once all of our glittery goodness is dry. So I will be back in a while. Just going back in and fixing our snowman's shape a little bit. All right, so I'll be back. So our card is all dry and we've got lots of lovely sparkles. Right here. And I really do think it fits the whole eat, drink, and be tacky sentiment on it. But I kind of love it. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting!